What's up guys, this is Brent with 24/7 Parts, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do a full engine service on the Z735M. Unfortunately, as of 2022, there is not a home maintenance kit for this Z700 series. Now, generally you'll see this in your lower models where your tractor style mowers, you'll see a home maintenance kit that combines all of the things you need to do this service. But on these mowers, there is not. So I'll go through each part at a time so you know exactly which part number you need for the Z735M. And we'll start here with spark plugs, and you're gonna need part number MIU 11020, and you'll need 2 of those. For the oil filter, we'll need part number AM125424. For the air filter, we will need part number MIU 14395. And then for the outer air filter, we'll need MIU 14496. And then for the fuel filter, we're looking at part number AM116304, and then 2 quarts of 10W30 John Deere turf guard. Now, as far as tools goes, all of your normal service tools you're going to need. So for one, starting out, we will need a drain pan and funnel. Then you'll need your choice of filter wrench. So here I have a cap style and then also a strap style filter wrench. Now this is gonna work for most mowers, but sometimes you get those filters that are a little bit tougher to get off. And with this strap style filter wrench, you're gonna be able to get a little more torque. So I always recommend having both on hand. Then we're gonna need a 3/8 ratchet with a 13/16 spark plug socket. Now this socket is going to have a rubber isolator in the middle of it to help protect that spark plug whenever we're doing this change. Also, for those spark plugs, we want to make sure and have a spark plug gap gauge. Now the spark plug should come pre-gapped if they're in a home maintenance kit, but since these spark plugs are going to be for multiple different kinds of units, we want to make sure and go ahead and check that gap that's specified in the specs section of your operator manual. And then lastly, you always need a set of pliers. This is really gonna help out whenever we're changing that fuel filter. And then also sometimes we have trouble getting caps off of different things, pulling those spark plug caps, always have that set of pliers. So we'll start over here on the left-hand side where our oil drain is. Now this is very conveniently placed here on the side of the engine with a hose connected to that drain. And then so where we're going to put this is right through this slot between the frame and our engine base here. So we want to just make sure and get our oil drain pan put underneath there, ready to catch that oil. And then next what we're going to do is loosen the cap here, just like this, to get it in line. And then we'll have to bend this hose down and through. And then once we get that through, we simply take the cap loose completely and oil should start to drain freely. And then lastly, we want to go ahead and pull up on our dipstick here, open that up to make sure we get good flow. While we're waiting on that oil to drain, we'll go ahead and move here to the air filter. Now what we have is just a couple of twist bolts here on top that we're simply going to loosen up. Pop that top off, and to remove that filter, we're just going to lift up and out, and we'll go open side in, push down, and then go ahead and reinstall our top. Next, we're going to move here to our spark plugs. Now just keep in mind you'll have 2 of these on the machine, one on the right hand side like we are here, and then one over on the left. Now I misspoke in the beginning and said we needed a 13/16, but actually on this model we need a 5/8 spark plug socket. So we're going to go ahead and first remove the cap here, and go ahead and get our socket in place. Go on with our ratchet here, and then break that loose. And then it's easier to hold on to if you go ahead and remove these with the socket on, but without the ratchet. Pull out that old plug. We're gonna break out one of our new ones and go ahead and get that started here in the spark plug socket. Go in, and we're gonna start this by hand until we feel that spark plug snug up against the side of the engine. And once we feel that tight, we will go ahead and snug this up about another half turn here with our ratchet. Half to quarter turn, just until you feel it get good and snug. And then replace our cap. And just make sure we do the same thing on the other side. Then changing our fuel filter is also going to take place over here on the right hand side, just right towards the seat here. We can see our fuel filter, and we have 2 clips here on this filter, one towards the back, one towards the front. So to change that out, we're going to take our pliers and move those clips out of the way. And then once we were to get those clips out of the way, the next thing we need to pay attention to is which way the arrow is facing. Now I know that's going to be a little bit hard to see, but what you're looking at is the direction of flow of fuel. So the tank is back this way, so we know the fuel is coming through the filter going this way towards the engine. So if we were to be actually changing out this filter, you're also going to have an arrow on your new filter, and you just need to make sure that it is going in the same direction. So with your new filter, we would be going on just like this, fuel side coming in here and going out here towards the engine. We would pull this off of the old filter and then go back on with our clamps. Now that all our oil is drained, we can go ahead and put our cap back on and then start to feed this back up and through. Pull that up, tighten that cap down, and then put it right back up and into its holder. Just like that. Now we can move into changing our oil filter. Now we're back over here on the right hand side of the engine, and first thing I'm going to do is take this fuel hose out of these clips so that we can move it and get it out of the way. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my cap filter wrench here and place it on the filter, and then take my ratchet, get it attached, and then start to remove the filter. Now, this is where having the two different style of filter wrenches comes in handy, because if we're having trouble getting it off with the cap style, then we can go here with our strap style filter so that we have another option. Now, these are generally going to take a 1/2 inch ratchet to use here. And sometimes, as you can see here, you're going to end up damaging that filter, and that's okay because we're going to change it. And then next, we just want to get in here with a blue towel and kind of get everything cleaned up. And while we're doing that, we want to make sure and check the outer rim here of our filter housing. Make sure that none of that gasket from that old filter is left over. Then we're going to break out that new filter. We're going to go ahead and get just a little dab of that fresh oil, put it here around the rim of our new filter, and then get that spun on there. Then we just want to make sure and get that on good and hand tight so we don't run into that issue, hopefully next time, of having to completely destroy a filter just to get it off. And lastly is putting back in our 2 quarts of oil. We'll go ahead and grab that funnel. Go ahead and put that back on. Let it sit for just a little while, and then we'll start it up, check for leaks, and make sure and check our oil level. And just as easy as that, guys, your engine maintenance is done on a Z735M. Now, if this video helps you out or you like this video, we just ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you need any parts, make sure to go check us out at 247parts.com, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, make sure to go buy your parts right here and subscribe right here.